Hi everybody, welcome to the iFALCON Best Practices Workshop. Today we have 3 faculty members to tell you a little bit about how they use the iFALCON website in their classes. We have David Betancourt from music. He will be telling us a little bit about how he, 3 steps to iFALCONing is what he's called it. Ilva Mariani from math is here. She has another project that she's done with the math department that she'll be discussing with us today. And Nick Rial from Machine Tool Technology is here to give another presentation on how he uses iFALCON. So I think maybe we'll just go ahead and have David come up first, and we'll do it where we're going to hear maybe 10 minutes from David, and then about 10 minutes from Ilva, and about 10 minutes from Nick. And then after that, we'll get together and work on how we can modify their projects for your own classroom. Okay?
So what I need is any good presentation needs a couple of catchwords. So I got my 3 catchwords, and I thought, well, we're in LA, so ch is a good sound for LA. So I picked check it, choose it, and churro it. I'll explain that. Now you all know I couldn't do the same presentation in Iowa and use churro. Just do it in order. But here I'm okay. So these are the 3 steps that I took just to get involved in iFALCON and realize the benefits right away. The first one is just to check it out. And so when Brian Reese was talking to the faculty about iFALCON, the first thing that I did was I went to the website to check it out. And at this point, I would probably just go over there and how many have been to the new website?
It is so nice.
Okay, so I'm going to take only about 30 seconds to do this because I think you're all familiar with iFALCON already. Is there anybody who hasn't been on iFALCON before, just for whatever reason, you've been off of the planet for a couple of days? Okay, so what I did was I went to the home website. Now it's really prominent. You know, before it had that nice little ball over there, and I just went on it. I clicked on it just to see what it was about. I wanted to take my own time and see what's going on. So I went through and started reading it and just seeing what it was about, and started reading these, the focus and what it was about. And when I got all the way over here to organize, it sort of struck a chord with me, and I was reading about it, and so I realized how it was put together and how it had mini lectures and activities. I thought that was really interesting that you could actually go and just do what it's asking you to do, and there's an activity ready to go, just wrapped up, and all you have to do is present it. And I kind of like that. And as I was going through, I started to realize, well, a lot of these things that are on here, I already do in some way, is what I started to sort of attach to myself. So I was looking at the activities, but then realizing I was doing similar sorts of things with the students, or similar sorts of things that address focus, or address organize, or address creativity, these things. So then I went right on to the next step here. And looking at this, what I discovered was that it took me about half an hour to get through it, because it was a slow process like any learning thing, any learning curve. And then as I started to realize how it was set up, I already was anticipating what to expect. By the time I got down to C and the O, I knew the format, so I knew what I was looking for, and so just that whole discovery process. And it took me about 30 minutes to do that and really feel like I knew what it was about. And as I was going through, I started to think about how I could contribute, or what I could use from it. This led me to my second step, which was choosing. Which habit of mine will I choose? Will you choose an established activity, or do you have one already? And that one, that came right to the front for me. I had so many things that I was doing already that I felt addressed it, and the activities didn't look like they were going to work for my particular teaching situation, or at least I had more passion to do it the other way, and so I went with the passion, thinking that would be, the students need to see that from me, that I'm really passionate about this. So, and this, I write the estimated time it took me, I think, because the faculty who haven't addressed it before probably want to know how long it's going to take. Looking at the iFALCON website, about half an hour and you're good to go. Okay, that's not much time of your day. How long does it take to choose what you want to do? Well, I put instantly to a few days of pondering your importance in the world. I mean, it could happen. It could happen while you're doing number 1, which is what happened to me. I was checking the site, and suddenly, bam, it hit me what I wanted to do. But you might read the whole site, and then you're thinking about it for a few days, and what can I do, and do I want to do these activities? Do I do something already? So that's an individual thing. But I really thought it important that the faculty at least consider that it can happen instantly. at the same time as the other one. So it's not a big laborious process. And then churro it. I pick churro because when you take a churro and you twist it up real nice, right? That's what gives it all the good, where all that cinnamon and sugar lays on that real nice. So all I mean is twist it. Put your own twist on it. That's all I mean. So that's what I did, because it was that easy for me to, I think, to get involved. Is I just, once I was familiar with the site, I put my own twist on it, and then was able to adapt it, and I felt really comfortable with moving forward with it. And to me, that was really important, that I'm comfortable moving forward with the idea of the iFALCON. So I put my own twist on it, and my project was I get my students to, they always are writing on their music, when we rehearse, because I rehearse the orchestra, the band, all different groups. And so I'm always saying, this needs to be louder, this needs to be softer, this needs to be faster, you're too slow, you're not together. All these different things that we're trying to fix, and they're usually writing things down. Well, I took a couple of the players' music and to look at what they wrote down. And what we discovered in our FIG group was that, well, there was such a difference, such a discrepancy in what they were writing down and what the intent was of that. And so it led to, well, what is the intent? Why are we having to do this? And so then I had my aha moment when someone said, well, you know, what do they look at to write down? What's their guide? Well, in music, traditionally, it's an oral tradition. Conductor says, you write. Whatever you write is up to you. And the younger you are, the more direction you have, but you never get anything. And someone said, well, how about a form? How about something, a guideline for that? Bing! Now, it seems so simple, but it's not part of the tradition. And so I hadn't even considered it. So that's why you have the second sheet. This is what I came up with out of my particular experience. I came up with how to organize your markings. And it was important to me that I include the iFALCON, the terminology, organize. Because one of the things that I write in the tips is use the iFALCON terminology. We can all be doing now iFALCON, but if we don't connect the terminology, we're disconnecting the intent. So I made sure I put organize in there, and I talk about how to organize, and I put the markings down, and the students were quite thrilled about it. So now I'm in the point where I'm trying to assess it, figuring out if it's going to work. Already figured out, because I did this last term, I figured out this term from our very first meeting when I presented it as a review. Well, you know what I'm missing is I've given it to them, but we haven't gone back to revisit it except for that first initial. When actually all I need to do, another step in the process, is take out your marking sheet and put it out in front of you so that we can work with it today. Again, that sort of thing. And it's such an easy step to take, but because up until this time I was working it on my own, in my own little bubble, as we all do when we teach, and it's easy to get in that trap, I hadn't given any input. So I got the immediate input from the FIG group, and I thought, well, that's a good idea. So it's improving my teaching, it's improving the experience for the students. They're getting something out of it. They're way more organized in how they mark their music. It's easy to walk around and see how they've done it. And so we're coming to a consensus as to how we want to move forward in our ensemble as a group. So that's what I did. And before I finish, I think I need to mention two other presentations that were given in our FIG group. One last term and one this term. Last term, one of our math instructors did an organizing your budget. How much does it cost to buy your books? And that was her activity. And she tied it into organizing the FIG and the iFALCON, and it was a great success. So that was a real concrete, like, you know what, I'm going to do an activity I've already had an idea to do, and that's what she said. It was an idea she'd had for a long time, but the iFALCON campaign pushed her in that direction. It really motivated her to want to actually make it happen. This term, we had another instructor who is big on time management, decided, because he joined the iFALCON campaign, and he gave me the idea. I've always wanted to see, you know, see my students really learn how to manage their time, but he never addressed it. And this activity that he did, he put together a time management activity, and he did it with the group. Really successful. Not that they're managing the time better yet, but now they're aware of it, and he is really aware of what he wants to do next time. He's already planning the next time he presents the activity and how he wants to change things around to have a higher level of student success. More students seem to really grasp what it is he's trying to give to them, the information and stuff. So really exciting, very easy to do. Those are three different activities that have been really successful in the organized FIG. And these are the steps that sort of I took just to get involved. The last thing are just the tips that I give to anyone who's going through this particular process. Use the iFALCON terminology. use organic process to create activity lessons. In other words, we know that this is not the final product.
Yeah.
This is along the road. Input from peers has probably been the most crucial and most enlightening and most gratifying part of my involvement in the campaign. And join an iFALCON fit. Wow, what an experience. And to churro it takes about 30 minutes of your time. And then from there it's ongoing, because you get hooked in. You all know that. You get hooked in, and you see how much you benefit from it as a faculty member, and you see your students benefit, and you see the win-win situation, and nobody walks away from a win-win situation. So thank you for your time. That's my 10 minutes.
Wow.